Coming live from Berlin, Germany, as our guest tonight. Welcome to this very special edition of the KJ Masterclass Live, the show which ensures that you profit from your time spent here with experts either through their industry insights and information or simply learning from them. But before I move forward, may I request you to subscribe, follow, like, and comment on whichever platform you are watching or listening to this show on. And today we have Yuval Ackerman, entrepreneur and an ethical email copywriter and strategist. He runs a company called Yuval Ackerman Copywriting. Welcome to the show, Yuval.
Hey,
Welcome.
AJ. Thank you so much for having me. It's very exciting to be here.
Great, great. And we are very happy to have you here on this show so that we can learn a lot about ethical email marketing strategies. Why do you focus on email marketing strategies so much, UL? Just if you can tell our viewers, so that why is email marketing so important today?
I think email marketing is very important nowadays. It's always been important, but I think it's getting more and more important nowadays because the average return on investment is on average about 42. So for every dollar that you spend on email marketing, the return on investment can be anywhere between $40 and $44. So that's huge. That's a huge return on investment. And I think that we as entrepreneurs have a responsibility to use this profitable, very profitable channel responsibly and ethically as well.
Okay, okay. So you help a lot of entrepreneurs to market themselves ethically with honest, and good storytelling and sell without feeling guilty about it. I understand when you can oversell something by writing a lot of, created stuff that may not give a lot of good feeling to a lot of people. But why do you feel that, a lot of email marketing strategies need to change and there should be ethicality into the email marketing strategies today?
It's a very interesting question, AJ, because I think that still a lot of people have a very complex relationship with email marketing from both sides, both being the sender or being the recipient. And I think it's because still there are so many emails outside that are pretty much really bad. And so even myself, if you've asked me maybe 5 years ago whether or not I liked emails, let alone writing emails, or thinking of doing anything to do with email myself, I would have said no straight away. And it's because a lot of people are still receiving or sending really bad emails. And so I think it's important to put out there things that we believe in, but things that we also would want to receive ourselves. So I always tell my clients, our responsibility, our shared responsibility is to market as you would like to be marketed to. And so I think it's really important to both respect your audience or your prospective clients, but also respect and listen to your inner self, your intuition, your guts, and send things that you actually believe in. Send things that you can stand behind 100%. And actually, send things that you would like to read yourself. So when it comes to marketing ethically, I think it's all about a good story. It's all about staying transparent. It's all about getting consent, which is a huge thing that a lot of companies basically either neglect or completely ignore. So, yeah, basically, marketing ethically via your emails, because of the impact that it has, because of the huge profit that it can reach, I think it's very, very important to send the right emails and to be aligned with it as well.
Yes, I also keep on getting a lot of emails from everywhere, especially from marketing guys, sales guys, companies, insurance companies, banks, everywhere you can. They can make a sale. I do understand some are good emails, some are not so good. I can make out that they are just talking beyond what they are offering. But from your perspective, what is a good email marketing strategy and what is a not so good email marketing strategy. To simplify it, what's a good email and what's a not so good email?
So I think it's important to talk about what we call in our field bro marketing, which is the bad side or the dark side of email marketing. And bro marketing is all about still somehow writing copy or writing texts, basically, which what copy is. Writing text that makes you feel either some kind of guilt or shame or feeling FOMO, or using anything that has to do with false scarcity or for false urgency. So that's something that I think we really need to get rid of in the next couple of years. So that's really bad email marketing. Bro marketing is also about, making more sales and not necessarily delivering on the goods per se. And it's also more about whoever is selling to you and basically glorifying their persona rather than being more customer centric, human centric as well. So basically, ethical email marketing, I would say, is the complete opposite of it. So instead of pain points and emphasizing those, I'm using a term that I discovered recently and I really loved, which is empathy points. So instead of just pushing and pushing and pushing on the pain points, so you make the sale, or that that you get the money or you get the client, it's all about finding the places where you can connect, finding the places where you can both benefit from one another. And obviously everything is some kind of exchange, right? Exchange of your time versus your client's money, or something else, product versus time. So there's also some kind of an exchange there. But ethical email marketing is all about putting whoever is receiving your email at the center and thinking about them first and foremost. It's never about me who sends the email. It's always about, what can I teach? How can I serve? How can I help the other side with what I know or with what I've learned? And how can they benefit from it as well?
Right. As you said, it should be about, understanding the buyer persona and not just, talking about your company's persona or your own persona, and understanding the buyer persona with empathy. But there are several myths around email marketing. What are the common myths that you understand from your point of view, Yuval, that you can share with our audience?
I think one of the myths is that the size of your list matters. Now, of course, it does matter to an extent, but I would say that first and foremost, no one knows how many people are on your email list. No one even cares, because I think that when you receive an email, a good email, you don't, the last thing that you think about is, oh, I wonder how many other people are reading this right now. This is not the point. If you sent an email like this and whoever's on the other side, the reader, is thinking that, you're probably doing something. You can tweak your strategy and your copy for sure. So the size of your list matters, but not as much as you think, because at the end of the day, you can have a list of 10, 20, 50, 100,000 subscribers, but if more than half of them, if let's say 90% of them are not even engaging with your emails, are not clicking, are not opening your emails, are not responding, are not buying from you, then it means nothing. It means nothing at all. So I always say to my clients, it doesn't matter what the size of your list is. It's always about how you manage your list and what kind of relationship do you nurture with your subscribers.
Okay. Okay. So you will tell me one thing. There is a lot of focus on videos nowadays. The number of, everybody is telling that videos and podcasts also, podcasts about videos and audios. Amidst all these things, email marketing is one of the, older versions of marketing that's continuing on. So what are the changes happening in email marketing as such? Are they putting, or I have seen a lot of people putting video links and other links, but from your perspective, what's the trend happening? What is the best email strategy as such? Should they put plain text? should I make it colorful but ethically colorful? You mean you stick to the buyer persona, talk and empathy. Just make the email nice. What is the trend that's happening? Because there are a lot of small businesses, independent freelancers, and obviously big companies are there, but they have their own ways of sending. They have their own team. But what should a person gather from tips, some special tips that you can offer to our audience?
I really like this question because there is no concrete answer to that. What I like saying to my clients is stick to what you feel is right for you. So for some clients, it would be plain text. For some clients, it would be a bit more, something with a bit more graphics or maybe some GIFs or, some fun stuff inside. For some, it would be, all about if people or entrepreneurs or companies in e-commerce, they're all about design. I mean, copy is, of course, incredibly important, but it's how everything is designed. But everything has to go with what the values or what the identity of your brand is. And so it really depends. But I would say that the biggest trend or the biggest shift that I'm seeing nowadays, and I love it, I absolutely love it, AJ, is the fact that more people are utilizing storytelling and honest storytelling into their drips and into their automations. And they're utilizing this to actually make an ethical sale. And that's something that I really, really like seeing.
Okay. So email marketing should be about storytelling, basically.
Absolutely.
It should not be about just pushing a product or just anything and just try to push an offer that you are getting this much discount and all. That's obviously a part of the package, but it should be storytelling about the product or service or the concept that you are selling to your buyer persona.
In a sense, yes. I always say that ethical email marketing is a bit like a dance, and you have to be the leader in this dance. So it's about reading your partner's body language, and it's about sometimes leading them towards a sale. So sometimes it's appropriate to, have a launch. For example, if you're launching some kind of a new product or a new service, there's nothing wrong about having some kind of a launch strategy that is all about the sale. Now, obviously, you're going to use storytelling, honest storytelling, to actually promote this kind of product or service or whatever it is that you're selling, because at the end of the day, that's what you want to make out of your email list, right? But at the same time, it's a very gentle dance. And so I think that your subscribers would take your lead if you do it right. But it's a very fine line there. So it's about really pushing the envelope sometimes a little bit further. But I always say it's about staying true to who you are and what your brand values are.
Okay. Yuval, you see, a lot of people are putting their budget or businesses onto online advertising about their products, about their services. But there is also a lot of email marketing happening. Now, why do you think that email marketing is very important, and it is important for business owners to invest in their email marketing efforts, and specifically their emails, the type of emails that they are sending out even today? And obviously, we'll ask about the future of email marketing. But why should business owners take their emails, sending their emails very seriously?
I think the simplest answer to this, AJ, is because your clients expect it. So let's take, for example, a welcome sequence, which is a sequence of emails that you receive as soon as you subscribe to any kind of an email list.
Yes.
I can't remember the specific numbers, but it's a very high percentage of subscribers who subscribe to a new list. They expect to get at least one email from you, if not more, because when they subscribe to your list, they want to learn more about you, more about your brand, more about what you're offering. So it's important to invest in your email marketing, not only because it's profitable, but first of all, your subscribers expect that. And more than that, it's a golden opportunity for you as an entrepreneur, as a company, as whatever it is that you're promoting, to make something to utilize a channel that is still perceived as very personal, and very effective as
Yes.
well, to tell your story, to sell, and to benefit from everything that email entails.
Okay. Okay. And what is the trend in email marketing that's happening right now? Yuval, how do you see email marketing changing, and how do you see coming up in the next couple of years from now to, so that people can get ready with that transition? How do they get themselves ready for the transition?
Something that I'm seeing also in terms of even, I would say, more traditional marketers are focusing more on storytelling. So if it's about, if you want to be your own copywriter, or if you want to hire another copywriter or a strategist, the first thing that I would invest in is someone who knows how to tell stories correctly and link them to your offer. So that's the kind of trend that I'm seeing more and more, even with the more, established, or the older generation of marketers. So that's happening. I also see more and more people talking about tactics that are no longer acceptable, I would say. But then
Okay.
again, it opens a whole new conversation on what is ethical, what is helping. So, for example, let's take countdown timers, right? Which is something that I personally don't use. I don't like using countdown timers. But then again, I have a lot of colleagues that have ADHD. And they told me not so long ago, hey, you know what, Yuval, actually, countdown timers are really helping us to make a more informed decision. And they actually show us black on white, or whatever it is, whatever color it is, that we have to make a decision. Because otherwise, if it's not in front of us like this, we would never take action. So I think that another trend that I'm seeing here is, a more open and honest and ethical conversation about what it is that your subscribers want and like and need, and what it is that you are responsible for as a list manager or a list owner. And that's something that I really, really like. And I think that this is something that whoever is dealing with email marketing nowadays needs to do right now. It's to open the conversation. It's to ask your subscribers, what do they want? What do they need? What would they like? And collect as much data with consent, with transparency. I should mention this. So collect as much data about your subscribers, because they're not just an avatar. They're people.
Right.
And people want to buy from people, not from companies, not from robots, not from AI bots. They want to know that whatever they're investing in, they're getting, something great in return.
Yes, and also they should know that copywriting, everybody may be able to write well, but everybody is not a good copywriter. What do you think of this?
I'm a bit biased, because I think that everyone can be a copywriter. It's something that you can learn, and something that you need to practice. It's a skill. I also think that a lot of business owners can be their own copywriters. I usually tell people, it's an unpopular opinion. I mean, it's grossly unpopular, but I really think that business owners need to know, first and foremost, what their brand voice is, what their strategies are, and email is just something that completes the entire picture, the greater picture. It's not a standalone kind of thing. So
Right.
I think that business owners also need to know who they are, what is it that they want to say, and how it is that they want to say. And I think that everyone can be a copywriter. It's just a matter of, will, sometimes money, because you do need to invest in some kind of education, and time. You need to practice it and practice it and practice it over and over again. It never ends, and you need to learn, keep learning, keep being curious.
Yes, I believe that you also need a person who can be, a bit away from your brand and see it from a distance, and then observe it and write about it. It's like, I'll tell you, I've been a journalist for so many years now. So when you look at a story, you should not be a part of the story. You should be, a not participant observer, and then only you can be not a part of the story, then you write it much more, with balance, with objectivity, and with accuracy. Otherwise, if you it is very difficult. But then so many people have budget constraints, and I guess a copywriter brings in, or even if the copywriter is from within the company, then he can have a different perspective than what people who are too much into the company itself, they will write. So this is my opinion. The world is changing, everybody is entitled to theirs, but email is a very, as you said, it's a very intimate sort of communication medium, and people read it in their free time or whenever they get that time. So you have the full attention of the person reading the email, if the email is good enough. But tell me, Yuval, what how can the audience reach you, if they want to connect you, because you are a full-fledged copywriter, and somebody who does this full time. So how can people reach you if they want to take your services?
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much for the question. So either on LinkedIn, I'm under this very name that you see on the screen right now, Yuval Ackerman. Or if you're hearing this, then Yuval Ackerman, that's me on LinkedIn. And you'll see my picture. I have this big ginger hair, so you won't be able to miss me. So either LinkedIn or Instagram, at the handle Ackerman Copywriting, or via my website, ackermancopywriting.com. I'm happy to have a conversation. I'm happy to listen. I'm happy to read your stories, and I'm looking forward to read them and listen and hear from you. So please reach out.
Great. And I'll also put your details in the YouTube description part, so that people who are reading there, they can obviously get a much more direct link to your website and your social media handles. My last question to you, Yuval, is that you said that ethical marketing, gives you a lot of freedom, and it will take you away from any guilt that you may have, while pushing a lot of unnecessary emails, or emails that are not representing your product fully or your services. Does this happen? People feel much more freedom and guilt-free life with a ethical email marketing. Have you seen that happening with your clients?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, think of it this way. Maybe I need to go back a little bit and tell
Yeah,
a
yeah,
little
take
bit
your time.
about myself as well. I was a journalist myself 10 years ago. And as you said, there's a big importance in having someone that sees things in perspective, and a greater perspective, and has some kind of a distance. So that's something that I believe that as a copywriter and as a strategist, I'm able to provide to other business owners, which I'm very, very grateful for. But as a journalist back in the day, I was going to all kinds of events and all kinds of I had to cover all kinds of stories that I had to report on in a certain kind of way. And I can tell you that when I was a journalist back in the day, my sleep was very, very bad. As simple as that. And so when you are misaligned with the story, when your hands are tied in some kind of a way or another, when you are not putting yourself out there in the world in a way that feels right to you, I hear it time and again. People are very unhappy. People will be very misaligned, and that would pretty much affect your life as a whole, because at the end of the day, your readers, whoever is receiving your emails, will be able to read through your ingenuity or not. I mean, if you are real or not. And so they will kind of respond to that, either by not saying anything, or not reading your emails anymore, or unsubscribing, and just basically, being very misaligned. Again, I'm repeating this phrase again and again, because I think it's the most accurate. When you are misaligned with your strategies, with your marketing strategies, regardless whether it's on Facebook or on email or on social media, people read through it. We have been surrounded by social media for so long. We have been with email marketing for so long. We can read through all of the, unrealness. we already smell it from miles away. So when you are not genuine with who you are, and as a consequence, as a result with your subscribers, you will feel it straight away. Straight away. And I think it's so important for us entrepreneurs that, our work-life balance is sometimes kind of fragile. So for us entrepreneurs, sleep and this balance of work and life, and being again aligned and leading with value to whoever it is that we're serving, that's everything. If you're doing something that is misaligned with who you are as a person and as a brand, I guarantee you're not going to sleep well at night. You're not going to wake up in the morning thrilled to do whatever it is that you're doing. And you're not maybe going to continue being an entrepreneur. You might even, I don't know, God forbid, close your business because it's not working. So everything is connected. I really believe that. So if you are not connected to the story that you're telling, to who you are as a person, it will show 100%. So ethical email marketing is all about selling with value, selling with intentions and intuition. And if you are aligned with who you are and what you're selling, it will show, period.
I fully agree with you, Yuval. 100%. I understand what good sleep is not about, is all about, and not what not so good sleep is all about. Because when you pass through different stages in life, everybody almost experiences that.
Yes.
With this, Yuval, thank you very much for coming on this show. With this, it's a wrap on this edition of the KJ Masterclass. Thank you very much.
Thank you.